Welcome to another episode of Saga. It's been an interesting week. You know, I'm in the hood hollering free meek. Kanye's been tweeting from the sunken place. And Dr. Huxtable looks like he's going to be tucking on a different type of pudding pop. And, but, you know, forget all of that. We got our attorney friend, special guest, L'Oreal Rock in the building.
Guys, yes, super excited to be on tonight.
And we're going to be talking about intellectual property and entertainment law. Yo, now L'Oreal is not just my good friend. She's also my partner, my best friend, and my attorney. She's entertainment law and intellectual property. And you know, here on Saga, we're talking about music business. So that's our topic for today. Copyrights, music clearances, things of that nature, how we could get into it. So L'Oreal, how are you today?
I'm excited. Let's get into it.
Yeah. How did you get into law? What made you get into law and want to get into intellectual property specifically?
So law has always been my passion growing up. And so, I mean, we went to St. John's together.
Totally.
Where I studied legal studies. And it was you in my first year that was like, yo, you need to figure out this copyright stuff, this trademark stuff, IP, so you can be my entertainment attorney.
Yeah, I was always I was a pusher. I don't know if we can say that.
But I love it, and I'm grateful for it, and I'm loving what I do now.
Yeah, and you continued on to Howard Law.
Yes, to Howard Law, where I pursued intellectual property there.
HU?
Yep, served in the IP and trademark clinic, and took a lot of copyright classes, entertainment law. And it's just, I love it. Love the work that I do.
Yeah, so it's really cool because actually with me being an artist and, you know, focusing sometimes in music business, I resort to you. Specifically, I know we've done copyrights.
Yes.
With securing my lyrics, with making sure that my sound recordings are protected. So let's get into what's the difference or how people can copyright their lyrics from the comfort of their home, or the fact that we live in the DMV area and we have access to go do it. What would you suggest? What are some steps? What is something that you do?
Well, we love doing things online. So the Copyright Office, yes, the Library of Congress is in DC, but you can go online and register your copyrights there.
Yeah, what is it? Copyrights?
So copyright is an expression of an idea in a tangible medium. So as soon as you fix that into a tangible medium, your music, a work of art, painting, drawing, copyright,
pictures,
attaches immediately.
You know, some people are kind of, they believe in the poor man's copyright, you know, with writing things and mailing it to yourself, or they just understand that, hey, once I create it, it is copyright and protected. But why would you want to register your copyright?
Right. Well, in order to sue for copyright infringement and get damages under the copyright statute, you have to have a federally registered copyright, a federally registered copyright.
Where can they do that? How do they just have to contact the lawyer? Can they do it on their own?
Well, you know, as an attorney and wanting to keep business, you should definitely contact an attorney. I mean, there are things that can go wrong, and at the end of the day, you want to make sure that your work is protected and, you know, that it can't be stolen from you because you didn't register something properly, or you only did the sound recording and didn't do your lyrics. So there are more intricacies to it, so it's good to have an attorney.
With me and recording my songs, or, you know, my project that I'm about to put out, you know, when I'm with the song Naughty Girl or Black Girl Magic, for instance, you helped me with that. You actually did it for me, where we copyrighted the lyrics in the sound recording.
Right, yes.
What's the difference between the performing arts, the sound recording, and then this weird thing called music composition?
Okay, so your music composition is protected as a work of performing arts when you do your registration online. So, I mean, nowadays it's pretty much your lyrics. Back in the days, it was the sheet music you were protecting. So the melody and the lyrics to the song, that will be protected as your music composition, a work of the performing arts is the category that the Copyright Office uses.
Yes.
And so then the sound recording, that protects the song as a whole, the master recording. And so with that, you know, the work that the producers put into it. They're the authors of that, as well as the person who is performing.
So like a lot of times, you know, people have different producers rather than the person who's performing it, which is sometimes also different from the person that actually writes the lyrics. Exactly. But, you know, if you're an independent artist and you pretty much do that all by yourself, where, you know, usually it's just like a different producer separate from the person who wrote the lyrics, you should be okay. You just have to make sure that the person that produced it is okay with protecting it with you, right?
Right. And so then either you're going to have them as an author on both the sound recording and the work of performing arts, or they give you their rights and you're the sole author of both. And you can cut your costs that way by doing a joint application.
Awesome. Yeah. I think a lot of people, you know, when it comes to having different producers, they would have to, you know, get permission and let them know. Because at the end of the day, like we said on Saga, you understand that your art is your business and your way to survive and make money. So, you know, some people you probably don't feel comfortable, but it's like if you let people know from jump, I take this seriously, I'm gonna protect this, I need you to know that I'm getting this copyrighted. I'm a hip hop artist, which is sampling is like one of the pillars of our genre of music. So like I know we were talking earlier, you know, because we talk about these things. There's been a case with Drake with clearing sampling that he won with what's the album?
Nothing Was the Same.
Nothing Was the Same. Why don't I know that? I guess because I don't really listen to Drake. Anyway.
But
Foul Cake.
Yeah.
What happened?
No, I mean, amazing victory. We can get into that. But so essentially what happened is that Cash Money Records obtained a license
Taking over for the 9 in the 2000. Okay.
So they obtained a license for the sound recording.
Yes.
So the song as a whole.
Right.
But did not obtain a license for the music composition.
What?
So
the music composition. Okay, so they got the sound recording, but they didn't get how the music is written out in like music form.
Exactly.
But like what? That is so strange. Like you would think as a whole that you're good because that's what the sound recording. I can see if it's like, oh, I got the lyrics, but I didn't get the, you know, sound recording.
Yeah, but there's no cutting. That's how serious.
That's why you need lawyers.
Yes, that's why you need exactly because there's someone who holds a copyright for the music composition and the sound recording. And so you've got to get permission from both of those people, the authors, whoever they are.
Because they could be two different people, right?
Exactly.
Only real music's going to last. All that other bullshit is here today and gone tomorrow.
So the family's estate sued Drake?
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Drake ended up winning.
Right. So the family said, hey, you know, if we knew that Drake was going to use Jimmy's sample like this, we would have never allowed him to. Jimmy wasn't a fan of hip hop. He was a jazz artist.
They thought he was gonna use it. Or they don't put it on the album. They don't know who Drake is.
The way he cut it, yeah, they were not feeling it, and said if they knew that that's what he wanted to do, if they had asked permission for it, then they would have said no. But his attorneys were amazing on this case. Made a fair use argument, and so that he didn't take too much of it and transformed the use in a way that it was not substantially similar to how Jimmy used it in his song. Oh, Jimmy, that's funny because wasn't Drake Jimmy on
in the wheelchair?
That's crazy.
That is
just right.
Jimmy got fans, man.
Right,
so how would one as an independent artist go into getting music cleared, like a sample cleared? For their project or I wouldn't even say their mixtape, for their EP or their album, if it's, you know, a mainstream artist, like say I sampled, I don't know, a Lauryn Hill song or something. How would I go about that? I need my lawyer, right? I would contact you. What would happen?
You have to get permission. I mean, you can look up the copyright and it'll say who the author is, who you need to contact to get permission, which is your license, to sample it. There are some websites that have the samples compiled for you to get a license that way. Harry Fox, it's another agency.
Yeah.
Yes, where you can go and obtain licenses for the music that you want to sample.
I'm not sure. I think you have to be like a publisher to have access to them. I think I looked into that. I don't quote me on that. Check it out, Harry Fox Agency. You know, just some resources.
No.
Say, you know, independent artists. Did people get beats from YouTube or beats from SoundCloud or whatever, and they actually do reach out to, you know, the producer is accessible. They reach out, but at the same time, they don't say, no, you can't use it, you know, but they haven't replied back. How would a person, like, still release the music? Can they just copyright their lyrics?
That's risky. Yeah, I mean, you're definitely taking a chance that that producer can come back regardless of, you know, what the agreement was, or if they said they could care less whether they're on it or not. I mean, they can come back later once you're a success and say, hey, like, I actually produced that. I'm the author on that. And as we spoke about earlier, you know, copyright protection affixes once it's in a tangible form. So they are technically the copyright owner.
I mean, honestly, the issue is only if you're making money from it, right?
Right, but this happened with Designer and PANDA. So
what happened with Designer
the beat
right?
online, same situation. And the producer didn't want any rights for it. Once that song blew up, the producer wanted his credit. And so, you know, I actually know Designer's attorney who's working on that, and he shared the story about, yes, my mentor, Bob Celestin, and how, you know, before they could release this song now, they're back and forth negotiating with this producer. Producer basically had a handle, you know, on it. Like, I produced that beat, and so they had to give him, you know, a cut.
I'm glad that you're here. Thanks for answering a couple of questions. You got
Thanks
anything
for
else?
having me.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I always got you. Anything you wanted to say, or where they can find you if they need any, you know?
Yeah,
questions
so I am currently in the federal court system, but follow me at L'Oreal Rock.
She is my rock.
Also on Twitter, L'Oreal Rock. Yeah, and you know where to find me.
She has such a brand name. It's like L'Oreal, like the makeup, and then rock. Is that how you tell people you spell your name?
Because I'm worth it.
Ooh! Ooh! Thanks for tuning in for another chapter of Saba Saga, where we're talking about intellectual property and entertainment law. Thanks.
She is my rock. She is my rock. She is my rock. Bust at the hold down the spot. Beats with the bar. Shout to be wet. Like dope in the pot. Beat down the block. The best thing I got. She is my rock.